Hello, this is Rabbi Michael Weiner with Rabbi's Reflections for Thursday, April 9th, 2026. Shalom. Psalm 50, verses 16 through 21, part 12. But to the wicked, God says, "What are you doing? Reciting my laws and taking my covenant in your mouth. For you hate discipline, and you cast my words behind you. When you see a thief, you're pleased with him, and your portion is with adulterers. You have unleashed your mouth for evil and harnessed your tongue for deceit. You sit speaking against your brother, slandering your own mother's son. These things you have done. Should I keep silent? You thought I was just like you, but I reprove you and set the case before your eyes." We tend to think God thinks like us. Two things about that. First, it isn't true. God does not think like us. Isaiah 55, verse 8 and 9. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are my ways your ways my ways." It is a declaration of Adonai. "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Secondly, God thinking like us isn't enough for us. We want God to be like us, not just think like us. God knows we want to conform God into our image. However, just the opposite is what's happening. We are being conformed into His image. 2 Corinthians 3:18. "But we all with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as from the Lord who is the Spirit." Did you catch that? We are being transformed, not God. You can disagree with me if you like, but think about these things. How many people try to justify being followers of Yeshua and at the same time living a homosexual lifestyle, for instance? They lie to themselves about what God clearly says in Romans 1, verses 26 and following. "For this reason God gave them up to shameful passions. Even their women exchanged natural relations for what is against nature. Likewise men abandoned natural relations with women and were burning with passion toward one another, men committing shameful acts with other men, and receiving in themselves the due penalty for their error. And just as they did not see fit to recognize God, God gave them over to a depraved mind to do what is not fitting." What? You don't accept Paul's writings? Then how about what's in the Torah, Leviticus 18:22? "You are not to lie with a man as with a woman. That is an abomination." I'm not writing this to condemn anyone, but I am hoping that someone will read this and become convicted to repentance. And while we're on the subject of perversion, how many men are lying to themselves concerning pornography? Uh-oh, what's he going to say next? Adultery is simply defined. It is, quote, "seeking pleasure outside the covenant of marriage," close quote. I'm going to say this again. We need to think along with God and stop expecting God to think along with us. 1 John 2, verse 6, "Whoever claims to abide in Him must walk just as He walked." If we want to know what God is thinking, we must read what He said, as written in the Holy Scriptures, and then apply it to our own lives. Anything less is to live in deception. Shalom, shalom.